So this is how I make a mud pie. Now, when it comes to a mud pie, I really feel like there are no hard or fast rules. But the way that I like to make it is using some reform powder and mixing it with lots of cornstarch. And I don't really measure it either, but what I do like is quite a thick, gloopy paste that serves as my first layer of the mud pie. Okay, and this is my mould. It's just a plastic Tupperware round that I use. I always put a sprinkling of glitter at the bottom. The first layer is the cornstarch layer, which is very, very thick. I think I make it around 1 or 2 centimetres thick. And the reason why it's a mix of gym chalk and cornstarch is if this was just pure cornstarch, it would be very hard to demould and it would probably fall apart. And here is where I break up fresh chunks of gym chalk and just shove them into the cornstarch layer. I always put a layer of glitter or confetti or sprinkles or all sorts after I've added some chunks, just for a nice little surprise in the mud pie. Now, at this point, sadly, my phone ran out of storage, which very rarely happens. But just so you know, this was a layer of my gym chalk paste. I then did another layer of the cornstarch, more chunks of gym chalk, more glitter, confetti, and I kind of repeated the layers. And yeah, I would recommend that your gym chalk paste be thin so that it can cover all of the gaps that might appear. And that actually helps make the mud pie a lot more stable. So this is just me finishing off the mud pie, just making sure that the final layer is just the gym chalk paste. The next step is optional, but I've started doing it recently just because I like the crumbly bottom of the mud pie when I do this. But I often crumble fresh gym chalk directly onto the top of the mould and kind of pat it down. Powder kind of soaks into the gym chalk paste. This is really not a necessary step. I've just started doing it recently and I quite like the effect of it. So anyways, this will go into the dehydrator now. It normally takes around 24 hours for this to fully dry. I do demold it in the middle as well. I just want to show you that it is possible to do it in other moulds as well. So if you do it in these square moulds, then actually you make a smaller mud pie. But I often do this because often I've leftover paste or cornstarch paste. I'm repeating the same layers that I did for the bigger mud pie. Now, one thing I will say about mud pie is it's always really fun to experiment. This is my way of doing it, but I think people in the community do it in lots of different ways. They might use less cornstarch than me. They might just use purely gym chalk powder, but this is how I like to do it, and I really like the texture that the end result gives when I do it like this. Also, just a disclaimer, I am not the original creator of mud pies. There were lots of brilliant creators in the community that actually started making these mud pies, and I will tag them. Look out for the results, and thanks so much for watching.